like to call the town board of the town meeting, or the Town of Lake Mills Town Board meeting to order on this July 9th at 8 PM. Notice was posted at the town hall, the North End Boat Launch, the cul-de-sac on Finch Brothers Road, and also on the town's website. A move to adopt the agenda is second on the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as printed.
Second.
Is there any discussion on that? Hearing none. All in favor of approving the agenda as printed, please say aye. Aye, and all opposed, the same sign. The agenda is approved. Item 3, approval of the minutes from previous meetings. First of all, let's do a meeting of the minutes from the meeting we had on regular town board meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve June 11th town board regular meeting minutes.
Second the motion.
Is there any discussion? Also approving the public hearing that happened on June 11th, 2019. All in favor of approving these minutes, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, and all opposed, the same sign. Now, the minutes of the meeting that are printed here from Monday, June 17th at 1 AM.
Make a motion to approve.
I will second that. Is there any discussion on that? Hearing none. All in favor of approving the minutes as published, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and all opposed, the same sign. Thank you, Robin, for doing those extra minutes.
No problem.
Moving on, approval of the July treasurer's report. I would motion to approve the July 2019 treasurer's report.
Second the motion.
Is there any discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the July 19 treasurer's report, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and all opposed, the same sign. Treasurer's report is approved. Item 5, approval of the general fund vouching.
Make a motion to approve July's disbursements of $73,625.11.
Second the motion.
Is there any discussion or questions?
Do you want to add the bill you received for Noah Cobb Construction?
Yes, I think we should do that.
Okay.
Noah gracefully did our air conditioning to the tune of $1,249.95. I think we should add this to the disbursements for,
I also make a motion to approve the expenditure for $1,249.95 for the air conditioning unit that was put in the town hall, which would be addition to the $72,625.11.
So you're amending your first
Second.
motion, Dave?
No, I was making two of them.
Two of them? Do you recall the question on them separately then?
yes.
Okay.
All right, so the first motion was to approve the disbursements for $73,625.11. All in favor of approving the disbursements for July, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and all opposed, the same sign. Disbursements are approved. And the next motion was to approve the disbursement of $1,249.95 to Noah Cop for the air conditioning here at the town hall. I would motion, or you motion?
Yep, and Jen.
And there's a second?
Yeah.
Is there any discussion on that? Hearing none. All in favor of approving that disbursement, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And all
Okay.
opposed, same sign. Thank you. I think it was well worth it. I think everyone is very delighted that it's
I'd
cool
say
in
thank
here.
you.
I could see some smiles. This has been a tinderbox in other months. So thank you. On to reports. Item 6A, Matt, the police report.
For the month of June, for the boat patrol, we had a total of 228 hours of boat patrol. We issued 16 citations, 20 warnings, had 69 compliance and safety inspections. We assisted 8 individuals and assisted 4 boats. We did have one PWC injury accident last weekend. That was handled by our officer and the DNR warden. Our boat's been down for a week and a half. There's a rubber grommet on the bottom of the bow that got tore off as they were putting it on the lift. We've been using the PWC. Trying to work with Tuffy Boat to get it in and get it repaired. We haven't heard back from them, so we're gonna get a hold of Patton's Marina to get it down, to get that grommet fixed before we put it back out on the water. And I'll keep you advised when that's finally back up and running. But the PWC's been working great for us so far as a substitute. 2 new officers on the boat patrol are doing an excellent job, putting in a lot of hours, and a lot of times, not just during the weekends, but actually during the week also. So people are surprised to see us out there, either good or bad, during the week. For the road patrol, we had 32 hours of road patrol for June. Again, most of our times we spent on boats. Handled 2 complaints. We had a total of 15 traffic stops, 9 traffic warnings, 11 traffic citations. Ran 10.5 hours of radar. Issued 2 ordinance citations. Total of 1 business check and 10 park checks and 2 extra patrols monitored during the month of June for the road patrol unit. Other than that, everything seems to be working pretty smoothly. Just want to get that boat up and running again.
Thank you, Matt. Anybody have any questions for Matt? Moving on, item B, Joint Rock Lake Committee report. I don't see anybody here from the Joint Rock Lake Committee. I know they were gonna have their annual boat tour and got rained out. I think that's rescheduled for the 16th at 6 PM.
Should I repost?
Yes, I think you better repost that for July 16th at 6 PM, leaving from the pier at,
Fair Park? North End?
Sandy.
Glenn's Astros
Oh,
house.
got it.
I'm okay. Item C, Planning Commission report. Jim?
There was no meeting for July.
And no correspondence,
For which petition?
any petition?
We did get a new petition, that'll be on next month's for Chandler White.
Okay, all right, good.
I'll do that at the end of the meeting.
All right. D, other committee reports. I know you have a meeting tomorrow
Tomorrow
night.
night, yeah.
Other than that, nothing from them?
Nope.
All right. Item 7, a period of public comment and questions for anything that is not on the agenda. And I know there are several people here. So will you come to the podium and tell us who you are and where you live, and we'll go from there?
Walter Crossman and 5038 Crossman Road. Earlier I called you about the potholes on Crossman Road over, right? Why isn't it finished?
Okay.
There's some big holes there,
Yes,
terrible.
yes.
50 cars come every morning from 4 till 7. They go home at 3 o'clock until 7 at night. I'd hate, we got motorcycles going to work and coming. If a coon comes out or a deer comes out and he happens to hit that big hole with his front tire, I'd hate to think what happens.
I know that we have safety questions out there.
Now, last year we had new mowers, and they only took 2 swaths when they mowed along the ditches. And before, when we mowed our own roads and had our own tractor, we mowed out to the highway, what the highway had, our road right away. So now they've moved the light poles back to in the road right away. So now that they didn't mow last fall, only 2 swaths, now we got shrubs growing up already. So do you want the roads to look shrubby again like the rest of some of these town roads are? Or are we gonna clean them off in the fall? So you decide.
Thanks. Thank you, Bud. Appreciate it. Anybody else want to speak? All right. I think we'll get to some of your questions as we move through the town's meeting tonight. Item 8, application reviews. Item A, discussion and decision on a special event permit for the Fort Atkinson Lions Club to hold the Tour de Fort bike ride. Is that why you're here?
That's why I'm here.
Introduce yourself and tell us about it.
Okay. My name is Jeff Woods. I'm representing the Fort Atkinson Lions Club. Before I start with my hopefully short presentation, I did present some additional information to you today. When I was reviewing for tonight's meeting, I discovered that not only did our 61-mile route go through the township, but our 35-mile route went through the township. So I gave you a map of the 35-mile route with the short section of Hope Lake Road that we'd be using, and a revised township map with that section of Hope Lake Road also circled. So, again, my name is Jeff Woods. I'm here tonight on behalf of the Lions Club to request use of township roads for our Fort Atkinson Lions Tour de Fort bike ride. The roads that we are looking at would be North Shore Road from your north border to Rock Lake Road, Rock Lake Road from North Shore Road to County B, Shorewood Hills Road from County B to County S, London Road from County A to Britsky Road, Britsky Road from London Road to the south border, and then Hope Lake Road. There's two sections, one along your south border, and then one from County G to Bigelow Road. It'd be County G to Bigelow Road, that's the 35-mile, the rest of them are all on the 61-mile. Our bike ride is part of our Corn and Chicken fundraiser, be held August 18th. It's a one-day event. All the rides begin and end at Jones Park in Fort Atkinson. We've got a 15-mile ride that goes from Fort to Jefferson and then back. 35-mile goes from Fort to Jefferson to Astalon and then back to Fort, but does cut through the corner of the township. And we've got our 61-mile route that goes from Fort to Jefferson to Astalon to Lake Mills to Cambridge and then back to Fort. All the routes are marked with paint on the pavement. We use a water-based paint that does fade over time. We do use signs, but all the signs are at where the routes split or at our rest areas, just to give additional information. We do use the Tri-County Amateur Radio Club. They ride in the SAG vehicle. We have one SAG vehicle for each route. All the riders are given a phone number. If they have a flat tire or run into mechanical problems, they can call that number, which is the mobile setup for the radio club in Jones Park. They will radio out to a vehicle and either go there and help them assist with the flat tire, or if they can't bike anymore, they load the bike up and take the people back to Fort Atkinson. Again, all riders are given that phone number. Before we start the ride, we give them a presentation on rules of the road, the fact that the road is open to traffic and they have to abide by those rules of the road. And also we emphasize very, very much that it's a ride and not a race. We want this to be as safe as possible. That's my presentation. If you've got any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
So it's August, sorry.
August 18th,
that's
yes.
You've got 9 on the first page.
Yeah,
It's
9/18.
8,
Okay.
it's 8/18.
Sorry about that. August.
Now, do you have to go to the town of Oakland for special events too?
As far as I know, they did not, we've contacted them and they did not require anything.
Oh, okay, okay. No big deal, but on Hope Lake Road, other than from where Britsky Road ends until where your circle starts on Hope Lake Road again, the north side of Hope Lake Road actually is the town of Lake Mills all the way through.
Oh, okay.
So, and the town of Oakland has the south side, the south half of the road, so, but not that it's a big deal.
Yeah, technically we'll be going,
I know.
east, so we should be on the right, we should be on the south half, but
Right, yeah.
I don't know, some people drift over the center line.
How many riders do you expect?
Last year we had about 225. There was about 125 on the 61 mile, about 80 on the 35, and about 20 on the 15 mile. I think we'll be close to 225. We're hoping for 250, but in that range.
Just as a question, what do you suppose the average age of these riders is?
I'm going to be riding it. I'm 66. We've got the shorter ride is usually families with kids. We've had them have families with kids 6, 7, 8. I would say most of the riders are 30s and 40s.
Just as a point of interest. How many years have you been doing this?
The Lions Club has been doing it for 8 years. I think the Jefferson County Bicycle Club started it back, I think we're like 25, 30
Yeah, I
years ago.
was gonna say a long time. Do we have any conflicts here with road construction? Because it seems to be our middle name this summer.
Yes, that was my only question. Are any of these roads going to be chip sealed? Oh, okay.
And you don't have any part of your
No.
route that's County Highway A, so. I just think that there's construction all around us. I think
Yes,
you'll
there
have to stay tuned very closely to what's going on as you get closer to the ride in August.
I'm planning this weekend to drive it, just to see if there is some roads that are going to be under construction or chip sealed. Chip sealing's my worst fear.
Well, it's mine too.
I'll make a motion to approve the special events for Jeff Woods for the tour of the Fort Bike Ride on 8/18/19 from 8 AM to 3 PM.
Second the motion.
Is there any more discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of approving the special events application for the Tour de Fort, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and all opposed, the same sign. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
We hope that you will have a safe bike ride. You know that you have a partner here in the town of Lake Mills with the police department and another partnership with the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department. Stay tuned with us as far as construction goes,
Okay,
because it seems to be imminent. Things are changing daily.
yes.
So thank you. Thank you for coming to see us, Jeff.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Item B, discussion and decision on a special event permit from Race Day Events for the Countryside Duathlon/Lake Mills. I'm assuming somebody is going to either be available by phone or be here. Do you know?
I don't know. I informed them to be at the meeting, and they are not here.
And this race is 8/24.
I know they recently took over this race from another company. Sounds like Race Day tends to sort of, not buy out, probably just take over and organize these events. And it's just a small section that's actually gonna be in the town of Lake Mills.
Most of it's all the town of Milford and Waterloo.
Is there a phone number if we have some questions here? There must be. 608, okay. Now, what's your pleasure, you guys?
Really, it doesn't really involve us, other than, the state highway.
Everything seems to be in order.
I was
I think the
wondering,
portion is a part of Fayetteville Road, I think.
yeah, I was wondering if that was Fayetteville Road. See, this map is
Oh.
kind of, I think
Yeah, it must
this
be
is
Fayetteville
Fayetteville
to
Road,
State
'cause
Farm
89
to
is here.
89.
On this
Yeah,
page, I believe it's the one after that,
Yeah,
just got a little
it
blip
explains it.
on the backside there, Dave. It's on the backside of the map.
Intersections,
Oh,
we
okay.
would be requesting
That's the part I didn't
assistance
look
or
at.
advice are County Highway V to A, left to A, onto
Fayetteville
Fayetteville.
Road heading north.
And that's the only portion in the town.
right,
Had to be by my place.
yeah, yeah.
I won't be home that day. I'll leave.
Yeah, otherwise they have their certificate here and all that stuff, and it's all one way, so.
I'd make a motion to approve
I'll second it.
this. Yeah.
Oops, sorry, go
Is
ahead.
there
Go
any
ahead.
any discussion?
No.
I think we should make
Yep.
contact with them and tell them that we have approved this, but we are concerned about any construction that might be
Okay.
going on.
There's a lot of potholes on Fayetteville Road too.
Yep.
This, get them done by August 24th.
Take that.
Just gonna make a note of the construction.
Item 9, old business.
You called the question.
Oh, yeah, I did, call the question. All in favor of approving the special event permit for Race Day events for Countryside Duathlon/Lake Mills, please say aye. Aye, and all opposed, the same sign. Special event permit for Race Day events is granted. Item 9, old business. A, discussion and decision on letting of snowplow contract bids. So, I put together some paperwork, you have it here for reposting the highway maintenance proposal for snow removal I asked that the proposals be put before us by Friday, August 2nd, and we would open them at our next meeting, August 13th at 8 PM. I had a discussion with our current contractor, Mr. Forrest, prior to our last meeting, and asked him to examine the contract carefully and come back to us and bid this. I was hoping that he would do that, and so we have extended that bid. Is there anything you guys would like to add or change?
The only thing I'm wondering about, Hope, is the brining thing. I wonder if that, one, scares contractors away. Two, I was really kind of unclear on when it says contractor will within the next 3 years. Does that mean that on year 2.5, or, I don't know.
Well, here's what. We have an opportunity, and we have been in the past working on a 3-year contract. I would assume that that would be most congenial for our contractor, our current contractor, and for any other contractor that would begin to take this on. I updated the contract. Apparently, it fell on deaf ears. I guess I am amenable to however this gets worked on. I did point out to him that we have a 3-year term in which to look at this. I don't care if he comes to us in year 2.5 and says, this is my plan. We have an over $1 million salt brining facility just north of Highway 94, which is at our disposal through the county. I guess I would like to see us implement some of those plans that were put forward in the lake management plan to look at brining in those urban areas. Seems to me, maybe I'm full of it, but I think that the weather maybe last year was not the most indicative of what we're going to be seeing, but it seems to me we are having more rain and ice events, and that the technology is there for us to avail ourselves of some brining. We received a bill erroneously a couple of years ago from the county for brining juice that the city used, and I was a little surprised at the price of it. It could be very cost effective. I think it only is fair to say that it has uses only when the weather dictates, but we certainly have proof that our weather prediction is much more accurate and can be implemented in a different way. It's a different thing. It's a totally different thing. I think right now we're at the point where we have another 3 years to look forward. And I think it's reasonable that we ask for him to come forward with some kind of a proposal.
I just question how effective it really is. You know, last year, I know Jefferson County's using it a lot, I know the city uses it, but I saw when they put it out there a lot of times, it just didn't do anything. And granted, they can stretch salt a lot further because basically they put it in emulsion and you're basically putting a lot of water out there. It does track and it is a good way to keep some things from bonding, but I don't know. I watch the stuff on Highway A and Highway S that they do, and I think the salt they spread over top seems to do better, but it depends on temperatures too and how much.
Well,
the
here's
salt
what.
goes.
Item 2 in our contract is that this equipment shall be provided and that we establish a program in the next 3 years. If that's something that nobody can palate, that's a paragraph that can be removed from the
Sure,
contract.
no, I just suggesting, that's all.
I would like to make sure that we open it up one more time, see if anyone else is interested in working with us, see if our current contractor will put forward a contract for 3 years, because that is not what he indicated in the beginning.
Right.
And we'll go back to the drawing board on the 13th of August.
What if you went to all brining and no salt at all, or no sand at all? Wouldn't that be a lot more fun?
I think that it's time to recognize our contractor Ron Bennett is here from Northwest Services, and I think that you guys all have some questions for him. Ron has found himself in the driver's seat of our pothole program, and it's been a very difficult year. We spent an hour tonight looking at roads again, and I guess you have some comments on salt and sand and probably on potholes.
Right, well, let's start with the bottom. When I came in, I said that I knew it was going to be slow because I have 4 other towns I'm taking care of. But what I've done in this time is I've learned that even with starting it, I didn't have enough of what I needed, especially seeing as how, like if you go to Wolf, you only make 3/8 hot patch. Maybe this morning, maybe we're making 100 ton, but then again, maybe we won't have it this afternoon. Well, if you're coming only to 2 ton, which is all you can keep hot, and you get to a road that has 50 big holes, you do the 50, you go back to get another 2 ton, they are making 3/8 anymore. Now you go all the way out here, you've done 4 hours worth of work, and you got half a road. Doesn't look like you did anything, but you'll fall all the way. Since then, I bought a trailer that holds 4 ton. I have used it, and then I brought it back and on remodeling, because these trailers are $38,000. I bought one, I'm replacing, because I also, the other part of my business is I repair equipment, so I'm building a new floor for it, which it will be probably done tomorrow. But when we do use that 6 ton, now you save all the time of driving back, because you can look behind your truck, and you can load it all up at one time. You can let that trailer sit, because it's diesel.
Sure.
Go use your 2 ton there, back with the empty truck, and take that and do, so you can go way, way further. You don't have any of the waiting to get loaded. If they have 30 big semis there, or 30 big tri-axle or quad-axle trucks waiting to load asphalt because we're doing a big road project, where you just get line. That's nothing that can be controlled. So 6 ton is more than 3 guys can put out in one day. It's a big day. That's like a 10 or 11 hour day. So I now have that ability. She did show me the roads that you need to have done.
Then you, since you have this heated trailer, that means that you would be willing to go out in January, February?
Yes.
So then we could keep up and, because I know every year we seem to always tend to kind of be behind
Yeah,
the
we
eight
already
ball.
have a jet heater for heating the road.
Yeah.
We heat it, blow it out. We can do it. And you can talk to any of the towns that we do, which there's Jefferson, Township of Jefferson, Hebron, Cold Spring, and Palmyra, and ask them how they like what we've done so far this year. So I really think, and I'm testing one of the roads myself because we're doing all the culverts and stuff on the road that's getting redone. But we had a pothole, so it continued to use. And I've been running machines over the backhoes and quad axles and everything, and none of our stuff is popping out. We actually go over with the correct compactor. Yeah, they're a little high, but if somebody ever does a hot patch and it's low, they didn't compress it, because you can't get the compressor in there to compress it. And if you're out there hand packing it, that's about 300 and somewhere between 300 and 400 pounds per square inch. I'm doing 3,100 pounds per square inch compact.
I do see a lot of other potholes that have been being fixed in other townships that are settling. And they're just, so that's not properly done. I haven't seen any of them in years, but.
Yeah, we also blow everything out. We have a pick along. If we start blowing, if we're blowing it, it's coming up, we get rid of it, it comes off. We just take it out. Otherwise, we're just wasting your time. And what I'm hoping is as fall comes, and you always do your fall repair, that we'll find that the only thing that's coming apart is all the stuff that's around ours, not ours. So that pothole part, I think we got under control. She showed me what you have to do, which if my other trailer's up tomorrow, I've already got myself up until next week, Tuesday. But if we came back here with my full crews, and I can actually do 2 crews at that time too, if it was close enough, because then I could put one full crew in the truck and 1 full crew on the trailer, and then you got 2 full crews working. It will be done. What you have to do will be very quick. And then as far as the brining, when you talk about it, there are definitely really good applications for it and definitely really bad applications for it. Where I think, and the reason I think this, and I can give you the people to talk to that did around lakes. Any place that you got around lakes, if you're gonna do a sand salt mix, you're gluing in two ways. The sand and the salt both.
Yep.
And it's 2.5 pounds of salt per gallon of water. And you dump like 1/3 the amount of salt, minimum. And I got the capabilities of a small person to still put down over 90 gallons per lane. And now if your tank is, and I can pull from them, how I do it with, right now I get mine all from Jefferson. I have my own tanks set all around by my road. So that I know, okay, I can get 5 miles with 500 gallons. So every 5 miles, I got a 3,000 gallon tank and I can fill. Well, if you guys were thinking that you wanted to try Brian around the lake only, I have another truck that I'm setting up with a 1,000 gallon tank with a plow. The brine truck I have now, I didn't even put a plow on, I just brine. Because I was thinking I was only going to do pre-brine around the lake, and then it worked well enough that now they said, okay, we don't want any salt or sand on anything. Run your trucks, come out afterwards and brine. And we did that all year, and all of them are very happy. None of the lake people that hate having the sand brought into their garages and stuff, there's different reasons for being happy, but it worked really well. But I can absolutely tell you there are times you can't do anything, like what you're saying on A, and you just can't. You can't dump it fast enough, and then when it gets down to a certain temperature, then you got calcium. Well, if you add calcium chloride to it, then it turns into like slushy. Yeah, it's not ice, but you're driving on top of a slushy, which is actually probably worse because there's an entire design to run on that at all. So,
Have you ever plowed a road and rather than using sand salt or rock salt and brine it after it's plowed to clean the road up with anything and that works?
oh yeah, well, that's what we do. Like I was saying, we did that for the schools too, primary schools. That's what we did for the schools because they don't want the salt running on all their floors and stuff either. So we were doing brining for them. And I know it looks way cheaper, but it is cost effective, but it's not as cheap. When I first started this, I thought, I'm selling something, I'm gonna make a lot of money, and everybody's gonna spend less. It isn't as cost effective, but when they tested the water and everything for Blue Spring Lake Road, or lake, they said that the water and everything had already started improving just from not using it. And with all the ice we had this year, we went through more salt this year than we've ever gone through. And the brining saved like 32 lane miles of salt because of all the ice we got. And I can't even imagine how bad that could be. And for schools, we have the whole school district there. We never got a single bus complaint ever. Because if we put the brine down prior to, you seem to get a ton more bite. Because we only did that one township on my road. And my trucks have to go back and forth through there. Even my own driver said, yeah, we have no problem at all moving on top of the snow because the bite's good. And we didn't have any buses, not a single bus complaint all year where we brined. So I think there's a good to the brine, but it is not. I don't, even when I'm selling it, like I'm selling it to you now, I think there are really good applications for it. And part of it is the fact that you're not polluting the surrounding areas.
It doesn't bounce off the road.
Right, yeah, you're putting the full 90 right there.
Right.
So there are some serious considerations here with snow removal. I hope, Bud, that you're hearing what he said.
Yeah.
There are a couple of things that worked against us this year. Number one, where you live on Crossman Road, there's a hell of a lot of traffic, and there's a lot of construction with destruction. Number two, we lost our contractor, who we used to have start early. We had terrible weather, rain. I mean, I can't even say. You guys would start out working, and then you would just fall flat because it would rain. Then it was cool. A lot of the asphalt plants were not mixing the proper amount, and then to go and pick this stuff up is either
Well, you guys go to Wolf out here in Sun Prairie.
Sun Prairie
You go to the range.
or Eagle.
You go to the ranges.
One of the
or you
two.
go to Wales.
Yeah.
to get it.
And it's a long way away from here. And you know, we are dependent on contractors. We don't have someone full-time. We depend on contractors to do this work for us, and it's been slow as heck. And if you think we need another pass through there and a wider swath, then I'll talk with Glenn Wolf about that. He's made one pass this year, he'll make another later in the season.
He made 2 passes. He made 2 passes already, but that's normal. That's
Yeah, for the first pass, that's what we usually do, always was the 2
And then in the
passes.
fall is when they clean up.
We mowed all the way, the right of way wherever you could,
Yeah,
correct?
right.
Yep, you're right.
So that tree that's ready to start to grow is right there on your field across from my house, in
Yeah.
the ditch there. And so I said, you know, and the only reason I started mowing all my ditches with the lawnmowers years ago was that doggone goat's beard, that weed. And that's the only way you keep it down.
Really, yeah.
Now you try to keep down this,
Buffalo.
that white flower, Queen's Anne lace.
Queen Anne's lace,
That's another bad one.
plenty of those out there.
Mulberry.
So anyway, that's the answer to your slow-moving question. Crossman Road, we toured tonight. It's still in terrible shape. It needs help. My goal in the end of this whole road program is to have them help us improve that road. Because it's not designed for what's going on there
And the
now.
chicken farm, I don't know why they don't put gravel on that where they broke the blacktop all off and they got their tape up along there. I don't know if you guys seen that.
I've talked to him a couple different times about it.
I mean,
And maybe that's why they put the tape up, I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's terrible. They broke the
It is.
blacktop right out.
Yep,
You
it
know,
is,
off
I
the
agree.
shoulder.
I
They
agree.
should lay some gravel in there.
So we're trying to be patient with them through this construction period.
Yeah, right.
You were here for the meeting on Monday.
Yeah.
I think that what's going to happen in the next few months is going to be really interesting. I want you to stay tuned because I'm thinking that they're going to want to have all this construction zipped up by the end of this workable season, which is probably October. And we've got a lot of things to decide with them, so stay tuned.
Well, the building won't be done by the end of October.
No, he told us 21 is the end of their,
Yeah, because
Okay.
the last chicken's coming in August, next year.
Yeah, the last conversations I had with them, they were slating October of 2020
Yeah.
is when the destruction is supposed to be kind of scheduled along with.
Right,
so. But
right.
obviously weather plays in it too.
Yeah.
all right, timeline is important there. Back to our discussion on snow plowing and the contracts that we have let. I guess I would like a motion tonight to let these snow contracts go again. And I guess we'll see what happens. If you think we're scaring off our contractors, so be it. I guess they need to come back to us and decide, help us decide what's the best route here.
Yep. I'll make a
Okay,
motion.
this was tabled in,
Oh,
Right.
right. Yep.
so you gotta bring it off the
Bring it off the
table and
table.
then make a motion, so you wanna do that.
Yeah, I'd like to bring the snowplow contract letting bids off the table from 2 months ago.
I'll second that motion.
And I'd like to make a
Hold on,
motion.
Wait,
Just gotta call the question.
Yes.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Slow down.
All in favor of the motion on the
Cha-cha.
table, please say aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, the same sign. Now let's discuss the letting of the snow plow contracts.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Any questions? Hearing none. All in favor of approving the request for snow plow and highway maintenance proposal, please say aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, the same sign. Thank you very much. Thanks for your input, Ron. Appreciate you being here tonight, and I'm pretty sure everybody out on Fayetteville Road is gonna be pretty excited when you come in.
Yeah. Person,
Now, it's
Especially that
for
one on the
clarification,
intersection,
I'll
right?
put it on the
I
website.
had a visitor the other day,
Is
drove
there
right
anyone else who
down,
wanted me to mail it to
Jane
directly?
Jardine, whatever.
Well, I think we should definitely put it to, send it to Forrest, send it to him. We had a list.
Okay,
Yeah.
We can go over that. Before we go home, we'll go over that.
that sounds good.
38.
38 total.
I mean, that is.
Oh, boy.
Is this a test?
No, but it's a real, you know, and now that I'm learning all this stuff, I realize that is a real time consumption.
Sure, yeah.
And then in a lot of cases, it isn't They're not designed to drive a big wing truck.
Right, yeah,
7 or 8.
yeah.
Yeah, most of our dead ends have DNR parking lots at the
Yeah,
end of them, so it's not a
gravel.
problem.
It's easy to turn around and stuff. Yeah, Jefferson has 41 of them.
Wow.
And none of them have turnarounds. So you drive down to it, you turn it back up. Now, I don't know.
We got cul-de-sacs on a lot of ours.
Okay, item B, discussion and decision on revisions and amendments to town ordinances regulating speed limits and abandoned vehicles. Do you guys have your abandoned vehicle ordinance?
No. No.
That was the same as the last few months, correct?
Oh,
You didn't
I didn't take it out.
give them my new draft of the abandoned vehicle
I
ordinance?
believe I've seen it. Did you email it?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And
Seen it.
I have a copy of it. Jim, you had some questions about it the last time. I sat down and retyped it. Wonder where it is. I sent it to you. At any rate, I think I have it pretty much put together. The other amendment that we need to make is to our speed, and it's really all to do with the lengths of these roads. And I don't have the correct lengths of these roads to do this yet. But I did put the abandoned vehicle ordinance together. Do you have it?
Yes, I apologize, I do have it. You sent it on July 1st.
And you had some questions, Jim, and I think we could solve this. Can you send that out to them? One of the things on the abandoned vehicle ordinance that you guys asked me about was, how do you classify farm implements and stuff? And in the narrative that I put together, there is a definition of vehicle accessories, and vehicle accessories can include farm implements. And then the other question that you had on that, Jim, was who pays for this? It says in the ordinance that I wrote that the town police chief has the authority to go ahead and contract on behalf of the town to have the vehicle towed away.
Right.
Well, I went right to Sue, down at Sue and Steve's, and said, how's this work? And she said, well, this is why we're in business. So I wrote the ordinance so that it reflects the fact that they assume the responsibility, once assigned by the town, to tow, store, and collect the fees for that. So look for that. I guess we'll put that back together.
So they,
Tower that assumes those responsibilities.
so we're out of it as far as cost.
Yes, and I think that we need to send this on to Leverton, because I think we need to have him review it, and we need to have him define what vehicle accessories are. Because if that's a hay bine or a plow or a piece of equipment, that vehicle accessory can be pretty, is that?
Those are vehicles of husbandry and kind.
Well, that was the question that he had, was how are we gonna deal with this as far as if we have a junkyard full of old farm equipment?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering if we even wanted to go there. That was my
Right.
question. I asked if we were just doing vehicles or if we were gonna do
Vehicle accessories.
accessories.
Yeah.
It does.
So that's something, we'll just let it go into next month. We've been dicking around with this forever.
The other thing on here to Hope is Hope Lake Road with the exemption of Bigelow Road to the Nutbaum Pit. That would be for the Class B highway.
Oh, is that for the speed limits?
Yeah, and so I need to work on that. All right. I'm gonna keep that. We'll just keep that on the agenda for next
But I
month.
don't know what the links are, we'd have to.
All right, item C, discussion and decision on proposed all-terrain vehicle and utility terrain vehicle route ordinance. And I appreciate the work that you put in on this.
Yeah, thanks, Robin.
The only question I guess I have is that we, as a town, have a format for, and I'm not saying you did what you were asked to do, Robin, but I think if we want to put this in chapter 6, that's why I felt it belonged, because that's law enforcement, and this deals with roads, but So instead of section 1, it really, our ordinance format would be 6-3-1.
Yes.
Because I think 6-2 is law enforcement now.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, so this would be the next one in that chapter. So all these sections would be 6-3-1.
And that's how my
3-.
ordinance is written, you'll see
So,
that.
just that formatting process, then I think all the other ordinances have a contents list, and like an index at the top too. So we should list those 6-3-1 as intent, and so on. 6-3-2 is statutory authority. You can look at the other one in 6-2. That's the way that one's set up.
Okay.
And then, I had a few little typos that, you'd change in, well, we'll
Well,
go
tell
by,
us the list, come on.
we'll go by line.
Okay.
So then in line 9, instead of section 3, it would be 6-3-3. You can have this, I'll give you my copy. Line 18 and 19, shouldn't be a break in there, it should be just pursuant to statutes, the following roads just continues, it's not a new sentence. Again, in line 43, section 3, it's 6-3-3. Line 68, I think the better wording of that would be use of additional light bars or other lighting is not allowed, rather than no use of additional light bars or other lighting. Just, again, 87 and 88, there should be no space in there, that's just continuing sentence. And then servability, line 94, the sections of this ordinance are declared to be, it shouldn't be the, it should be be, servable. If any of the portions thereof, there's no space in thereof, it's one word. Line 96, thereof, just take that out because it doesn't belong there. Section or portion directly specified. Line 97, I believe that's or. Sections or portion of, should be of instead of there. Okay? And then, that's all I had. Good proofreading.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Here again, would you guys like to send this on to Leverton for look-see, or do you feel that is not necessary?
No, I think he needs to look at it for statutes and make sure I
Yep.
got those right things, so.
So, in the sake of expediency, can you revise both of these ordinances and send them out to these guys? And if there are no objections, then we will send them directly on to Leverton and ask him for an opinion for our August meeting.
Both for the abandoned vehicle and the ATV?
Yes.
Okay.
And the speed thing should be no problem once I get to the website and know exactly what the links are. So next month, it would be really good if we could look at abandoned vehicles and the ATV, UTV ordinance. If he does not have time for that, then he's gonna have to let us know.
Okay, so by next month, you want to have a public hearing on each?
I think that would be
Yep,
prudent.
I think it'd be
I think
perfect.
that would be prudent.
To
We've
hold
been messing
before
around.
the regular meeting
Yep,
again?
we'll do it
Okay.
just like we did last month.
All right, sounds good.
Item 10, new business. A, discussion and decision on a proposed contract for reassessment. You guys, well, you were not here, Dave, but we talked at length with our assessor about where we were at. He told us that we were falling into, what did he say, 80? 7%?
70%, I thought.
And we said we thought we needed to do a re-eval. We were up for a re-eval, which would have been an extensive re-eval, and we were talking about budgeting for that.
We already did budget half of his money, didn't we?
Yeah, and he said, now the state doesn't, the rules have changed.
Yep.
Anyone who does not want a view of interior does not have to do it, and so we said we thought we should get up to snuff and get him working on this in the year 20.
Yeah, 2020.
And so here's the contract for 36,000 and no cents for him to do a major reevaluation assessment.
Need a motion on this?
I guess we should decide if this is what we want to do, and since we've already talked about it in budget, but that was in another term, I guess we should decide if we want to approve this now and/or wait until October, I guess.
No, we need to do it now because we've already started rolling this ball, because we talked to him about that last year already. Because we're gonna do it, we budgeted half the money this year and half the money next year, and we do the walk-arounds on the 0 year and the book on the 5 year. So that's kinda always been the,
Except for, look what the contract says, is made the first day of January 2020.
Yeah. That's when he's gonna start
yeah.
officially.
Okay,
I make a motion to approve the contract for reevaluation 2020.
and I'll second that. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of approving the contract with Equity Appraisals for a year 2020 reevaluation assessment, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and all opposed, the same sign. Thank you. Item B, discussion and decision on Cool Road, Airport Road culvert, and Rock Lake Road culvert work. Now, I signed a check for Airport Cool, and has the work been done?
Yes, it
On
has.
Airport Road?
I looked at it Sunday night.
You
It's
did?
all it's been done.
All right, I haven't been out there to look at it.
And Jim, it kind of came together pretty quick because Jeff had some time, and the culvert, and I'm sure you probably looked at it too,
Yeah.
but the culvert on Rock Lake Road, what that was, that's a square poured concrete
Right.
that's actually pitched the wrong direction if you look down there at the
The
water.
rebars were sticking out.
Yeah, so, and what it was is there was an extension, I'm assuming from people cutting the corner, there was a metal extension put on there.
Right.
But it was only butted up next to the end, and that culvert is 15 inches high and 24 inches wide. So Jeff was able to get his culvert vendor to squeeze the culvert down to get it to be 15 by, I think it was 20. So he actually shoved it in there about 3 feet, and he packed it full of high oil
Water.
Recycled.
recycled, and then recycled, so now people can really cut that corner again. So rather, because the road was in really good shape, there's no reason
Right.
to rip it up, you know, so he just did that, and then.
You know where we're
one way-
talking about?
Where is this one on?
And with
It's right in the
the
corner on-
Beatrice
The sharp corner.
Voigt,
Oh, yeah.
that's way back in there, way
So now they
back in
can
my
really dip down
mind.
there. The other one, Jeff and I had looked at, by Sharon's house, and I guess the first thing we wanna do there was just to kinda clean it out and see what we got there. And that we did, and it is cleaned out, and I guess Sharon, what's your thought?
Well, the water is standing in, so it's not, if the culvert is plugged or whatever, but the water is, it's stagnant green water, 3/4
Yeah.
full.
I saw that, and I think probably what Jeff did is he dug maybe a little bit of a sediment pot there. And again, when you look at that culvert, I think the culvert is pitched the wrong way because the water sits in one end and doesn't run all the way through, so, but I saw that too, and I don't know if it's gonna,
That's the one right on the intersection.
yes, correct.
Yeah.
It
So the-
actually
on
goes
the-
up to their shed,
It's
On
on
the
the
east?
east side,
on the east side of Cool Road,
yeah,
East side of Cool Road.
by the steep
right by the
shed.
stop sign.
Yeah, right by the stop sign. So that to me looked like it's really close there and it was washing off the shoulder away there. Did
Yeah.
you fix that at all or?
He did, because when we were over there, it was raining really hard. And the water was actually running down Cool Road and down your driveway. So does it still do that now?
It hasn't rained like heck.
It hasn't rained quite as hard.
Culverts too high?
Yeah, and sediment was, coming out of the,
Well, I
I don't know, we did
thought
that.
a flared end on that end would have been, and then you could have fixed that shoulder so that didn't wash down in there. But if you got it fixed, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't
I'll look at
know.
it.
We went that far and then we just left it for everybody to look at to see if you wanted to go further. Jeff said he'd be more than happy to come back, but, we really didn't know what we were looking at. It just was kinda,
Dig out the west side by Sharon's flower there.
I don't know, he didn't do anything.
No, he didn't.
Do that. Well.
Otherwise, the airport road ones, I thought it looks
Guess I'll
good.
look at it. I, had conversation with Wolf Paving.
Which they must be getting ready to start, cause it's all
And-
state.
He gave me the heads up when we were ready, and I said I would communicate with him. And he said we were in the next 6 weeks of timeline, so we should know a little more. I'll talk with him and make sure you guys know, and you can put that on the
I was gonna say
website so that
website.
we can notify them. I will call Wolf and make sure I know when that's gonna happen.
Is
Here
Wolf-
again, weather dependent.
Is Wolf going to do, I know we didn't talk about that, would it be when you're talking to, what's this, Rob? When Payne Dolan did Newville Road, they had the crack in the middle when they did the base. But then they did a complete overlay on the top, so that we didn't have that crack down the center. You think we could get, Wolf to do that?
I'll talk to him. I didn't know you had parameters.
Well, no, it's just that, what Payne Dolan did, when we asked him to do that, I think it looks great.
Okay.
Don't you?
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Otherwise, it's just.
My
someplace
track
that's
record
wicked.
with Wolf is not real good, from London Road, so
Smile
let's see.
when you talk to him.
Mostly talk to him on the phone, he doesn't know what I'm doing. Okay, so we'll be working on that, that's what's gonna happen in the next 6 weeks, is we're gonna have paving on Airport Road, and it's gonna be a breakdown for some people who think they're gonna race through there, but that's the way it's gonna be. And then we'll work on the drainage too, I'm pretty sure we can have help with that. Item C, discussion and decision on posting boxes, replacement and change of policy, and I think you should address this, Robin, we do have a problem.
Yeah, their posting boards are kind of crumbling apart. The metal's fine, it's all the cork that's not in good shape. Either we need to replace the entire cork panel if it's possible, or the entire posting board, or there is an option in Act 79 back in 2015 that the state allowed the website to become the official posting location, and then one other posting location would be like such as the town hall, in lieu of the 3 previous posting locations. But that would be something that as a board, we need to decide what best fits our municipality, obviously. And what expense we want to put into those posting boards, if any.
Well, we just stuck, $300, almost $400 into the brand new one that had the ant farm in it.
That was
Yeah.
only a year ago.
That's
wasn't
only a
And
year
it's
ago.
Bad, that's the
And
north
it's
end
bad.
one, right?
And I had to go at it with ant poison last fall, and it's really falling apart.
Yeah.
We did put some new cork in the one out on
Finch Brothers.
Finch Brothers Road, and I'm sure it's falling apart in the sun. Sarah talked a little bit about asking Eagle Scout to put a little roof over it, but I'm not so sure that's a worthy idea.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about it?
I think that's a good idea. Go to the internet, post it here.
Go to the internet and post it here at the town hall, and take our 2 other posting sites down.
Yep.
And what if we went back to putting it in the paper? Too expensive?
Too expensive.
Very pricey.
It'd be much easier to buy the cork than it would be to buy the paper.
Yes, it would.
So, your pleasure here, a motion.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
That's not gonna work, Dave.
I'd make a motion to post our notices on the internet, our internet site, and at the town hall.
I will second it.
All right, any discussion? Hearing none.
I'll just add that, then I'll create the resolution and bring that back.
That's what we
next
need
month.
is a resolution?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So bring that back next month. Okey doke. And that way, the public has time, if they think that we need to have those posting boxes at the north end to get shot up, that's fine. All right,
Oh, gosh, I think I interrupted you.
so, all in favor of, what's the motion?
To approve.
Creating a resolution,
To create a resolution to,
change our posting
to change our posting requirements.
for the town.
All in favor, please say aye. All opposed, same sign. Thank you. All right, item D, board expense sheet approval. Nobody's got anything. Hooray. Item 11, correspondence. I already have a little something. I don't know if it's correspondence. I went out to the town of Deerfield last night.
Fun. How'd it go?
I forgot about that.
Well, I just wanted to say this. I was on the agenda, the discussion item was called regarding shared services for shared town roads between the town of Deerfield and the town of Lake Mills. And as you recall, I gave them this intergovernmental agreement, and I said that we would be more than willing to pay for them to plow Brown Lane and Rather Road, Deer Lake Road, and the WDNR parking lot, and we would pay them for that. And they did say to me at a previous meeting that they had installed the sign that says Deer Lake Road, and it is a Town of Deerfield sign, but it is not an official road in the town of Deerfield or the town of Lake Mills. They, admitted to me too that they have always plowed Brown Lane and Rather Road, and that they are usually the first ones there, and that they have other properties at the end of those roads. But they do not want to enter into any kind of an agreement with us. They refuse to plow the road known as Deer Lake Road, which is gravel, because it is gravel. And they don't really care that Miss Lovejoy is out there and has no service. And I said, okay, so you are rejecting the intergovernmental agreement and you are agreeing to take no action. And that is what they agreed to last night.
So then what if we have them pay us and we do theirs?
I did not give them that option.
Because we're already mowing it. We're
Well,
already
that
maintaining it.
that was what I said in my agreement, that we would continue to do the mowing and the brushing, but that we would ask them to do the snow plowing and sanding. And they're perfectly happy the way it is, and I am not happy at all with the fact that they've named a road that does not exist, and placed a sign.
Another body lane, 10 years from now.
Exactly.
Be careful about plowing that, baby.
That's true,
And
you spend money on
today,
it.
today I talked with Alexa, and Alexa was a little dumbfounded by their reply. And she also said that she has sold part of that property, and now there's another property past her house that someone has a farm on, and that is in the town of Deerfield. And I explained to her what had happened last night, and I just,
So when they
Let it
did
go.
that, who has the right of way? Is there a 66-foot right of way for that, or is it a public road, or what is it? In order to sell land, it can't be landlocked, and they sure can't enter onto the interstate.
I've looked at the land map, and it's like no man's land, Dave. It truly is no man's
Have you
land.
talked to anyone at the county zoning?
Yes,
at
county-
Dane County?
Dane County Highway Department I talked to.
Maybe the person that bought the land at the end of the road needs to buy a snowplow.
Well, that's kind of where we left it. That's kind of where we left it. If they, and I agreed, I said, you know, we're not excited about taking on Deer Lake Road as a road. First of all, it's not improved. We would be able to plow a gravel road, and I said I thought they were pretty fortunate that they didn't have any other gravel roads to plow, that we could plow that road. But, you know, it's gonna shift down just like it has. It's gonna be last on the list, and they're gonna get there first. But if they don't wanna pay for it, they don't wanna get paid for it.
Yeah, and that's fine, as long as they continue to do it, but Jim is right. That road would have to be dedicated, and that road has not been dedicated to anybody, so.
It's
Can we-
gonna, it's
can
gonna,
Sorry, go ahead.
it's gonna be their responsibility to plow it.
Yeah.
Those two property owners. And the same for the other property owners on the end of Rather and Brown. They're gonna have to plow their own because, I mean,
It
we'll
goes to
get to
gravel.
it. We'll get to it, but then, you know, it's just a matter of who's gonna get to it first. And it has been all along. I thought it would be easy to solve this, but it is not easy to solve this.
Can the
Well,
town dedicate up to where the boundary of the county is? So our responsibility up to our county.
Well, that's the way it
lines?
is now.
It is, okay.
And you know, the thing is, they've been plowing it all along. I mean, told Jason last year, I said, you must go out there, you have to take care of these two roads. Well, by the time he got there,
They're always done.
they were always done.
Yeah.
But
So
then-
they're doing it, and if they don't wanna get paid for it,
And then what they're telling you, Hope, is not entirely true either, because when you get to the end of the paved portion of Brown Lane, which that's where the town of Deerfield and the town of Lake Mills meet, it is a gravel path the rest of the way. And they plow that down to that barn. So they're
it's
plowing
kind of,
gravel.
it's kind of one of these pick and choose things.
If they don't wanna do it and keep doing it, that's fine.
And I guess I've done as much as I could. I asked, they told me to, in the spring to come back in June. I asked to come back in June. They didn't have it on the agenda. I asked again. They put it on the agenda. At least they talked to me. I said, at least we've talked about it. I told Alexa, I think I might need to write something official so that it's in paper, on paper. But I think she needs to get the message, she and the other property owner, that they're gonna be on their own to plow that gravel section of the road.
It may be the town of Lake Mills, but it's not our road.
Yeah.
I would work like heck to have that sign taken down, because I just don't think it's right. It's neither one of our jurisdictions, it's a gravel road.
What's their address? It's
Well, Alexa's is, Town of Lake Mills, Rather Road.
Rather.
I don't know about the other one.
And their fire signs are right up by the corner.
Yes, I don't know what the Deerfield fire sign is for the other farm down the road. But, and I did talk to the DNR, there is no responsibility, this is interesting, because we plow all those DNR parking lots. There is no responsibility on the part of any township in Dane County to plow DNR parking lots, so. Interestingly enough, Bob Saloff was sitting next to me at the meeting, and I said, how does this work as far as emergency services go? Because you have an unnamed, you have a road that it has a name, but is not a road in either jurisdiction. How does this work? So I'm not done with it, but I'm done going to Deerfield, I'll tell you that.
What do they have, a three-person board or a five?
5. Beautiful. Okay, sorry to get off track, but I thought you guys should know what was going on there, that it hasn't just fallen on deaf ears. Okay, meeting scheduled. August 6th, Joint Rock, oh, I know for sure. The Joint Rock Lake Committee may be not meeting on the 6th, but having that pontoon boat tour, which you made note of.
Right.
August 6th is the Planning Commission at 8 PM. August 13th is the regular town board meeting at 8 PM.
Right.
Anything else? Oh, this Thursday night is the county meeting, right?
It is. I don't know if you wanted to.
Oh, yeah, I suppose. The county, comprehensive planning meeting is 6 PM, July 11th,
At the city?
City Hall. And also Sunday, July 14th is the Rock Lake Improvement Association's exploration of Rock Lake ecology. Meeting at Sandy Beach, no cost for the cruise. Registration at 9, cruise leaves at 9:30. Seating is limited on this pontoon boat discovery. If you want to register, you need to go to mail@rocklake.org. That should be fun. I hope they have good weather. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I will make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.